G'day folks, Rod Moore here from Learn to Paint Academy. Just thought I'd do a quick little video for you. I'm right in the middle of filming for our new course, which is the Still Life Introduction course. And one of the things we've been doing in the course is looking at creating a light box. And I'll show you the light box I've created, but I think this is a really useful tool. And so I just thought I'd do a quick little video for you about how to build a light box and how you use it. So the reason why I think it's a really important tool is because I'll show you some photos from the light box that I've built, right? It enables you to control light on a subject. And I think still life painting is a great thing for anybody who's looking to improve their technique and skills as an artist. So you can set up a still life subject just using basic household items. The key is being able to control the light on those items, okay? And that's where sometimes we struggle to set up a still life painting. If we don't control the light, so the movement of light through that subject, then it can be quite a bland subject. But when you start to use a light box, I'll show you this one here. Okay, so you can see it's just basic everyday items, some fruit, but have a look at the light casting on the light side coming from here, and then the rich shadows there. And so just with a couple of pieces of fruit, that's a great little subject that you can paint and learn more about painting. And so I'm a big believer in just finding everyday items around the house and doing little studies, every day, or at least a couple of times a week. Here's a couple of coffee mugs, right? And again, you can see the lights being controlled through that subject. On that red mug in particular, you've got that highlighted side with the light, and then you've got that darker side with the shadows. And so it's difficult to get that effect without having a light box. So in the Still Life Introduction course, which we're right in the middle of filming at the moment, and thank you to all those people who have already joined us. Great to see so many of you have an interest in still life painting. In that course, I show you how to set up a light box, and it's really simple and easy to build a light box with a couple of basic pieces of material. And I'm going to take you in a moment and show you. Basically, with just a few pieces of timber, MDF board, which you can get at any hardware store, and a couple of nails and a bit of tape, as I'll show you on mine, right? You can set up a little light box, and you can then set up different scenes for you to paint. Okay, now for those of you who think, oh, I'm not handy at all, I could never build a light box, that's perfectly fine. In the Still Life Introduction course, I give you about 200 photos like the ones I just showed you. There's another one that's bananas. So these ones I'm showing you here at the moment, these are going to be some of the little demos that we'll do in the new Still Life course. So even if you're thinking I can't make a light box, that's fine. I've photographed more than 200 little subjects for you, so there's more than enough painting opportunities, right, with those photos. But I would encourage you though to really think about making a light box, or find somebody that you know, a friend or a family member, to help you out if you don't feel that you have the ability to be able to do it yourself. Because once you've got one set up, then you've got an endless array of subjects that you can paint. And I'm not talking about necessarily doing fully completed master paintings. What I'm talking about is just little studies. Like these are some studies of black and white that we've been doing in the Still Life Introduction course. So we start out with black and white, and these are little objects. Like this is a little foam egg, right? A little plastic cup, a little plastic mug, and these are white objects that we put in the light box, and you can see the light moving through. We've got a little cube and balls here. They're little foam objects, I'll show you in a moment, that I got from a $2 shop, right? So you can get them from a local craft shop or $2 shop, and then you've got this endless array of subjects that you can paint in the light box. And then you can use household items like fruit and coffee mugs and so on. And then the last step in the Still Life Introduction course that we're doing, we're going to set up a proper still life scene, a more traditional still life scene, and we're going to dress the light box. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the camera up so I can talk you through what I'm doing there with the light box, so you can get more of an insight, and I'll show you what I've done to put it together. because even if you don't join us for the Still Life Introduction course, I highly recommend you do, of course, but even if you don't, this video hopefully will help and inspire you to build yourself a lightbox, and it's not that difficult to do, right? So let's go over and have a look at the back of my studio here, and I'll see you in just one moment. Okay, so this is the lightbox, and first of all, you can see I've got a piece of MDF board here which is on top, and the reason why that's on top is to stop the overhead light coming through and washing out the scene, right? So if you've got any other lights in the room, then you need to have a cover on top here. So I'll just pull that off, and you can see I've dressed this one up, and this is not one of the scenes we're going to do. I just, for the purpose of making this video, just grabbed a couple of things that I could find. So you can see I've got this nice material backdrop here. I'll pull this apart in a moment so you can see. Got this nice material backdrop, and we've got this little window over on this side here with a light. Now that light's movable, and notice when I move it around that it's changing the shadow and so on. So I've just got that mounted to the side of the desk, that light, and that's how we control the light. Okay, and you can get different types of lights to shine through there, and I've just got a little desktop light, and then I've got this material here that we're using to dress the back of it to create a scene. Now what I did, I went to the local material shop and I bought these sort of velvety materials, right? So there's a nice blue one here, and I've got this green one here, and this purpley, dark purpley. Now notice they're all quite dark shades, right? Because that way then the highlights on the still life subjects are going to pop out a bit more if you use a darker shade in the background. But also notice that because I've made some folds in it here, that you're getting these nice dark shadows and these highlights on the material as well. So you can really create some interesting setups just with some basic materials, and this is what I'm quite happy, quite excited about. And then I bought this wooden chopping board, and we're going to do a little scene as part of the Still Life Introduction course where we'll have some cheese and a little vase and so on, a little platter with some fruit and so on. So more of a traditional still life scene, but that'll be the last painting we'll do in the course. We're building it layer by layer progressively. So let me just pull this apart for you, and let's have a closer look. So I'll just take out some of these items. Okay. Okay, so we take everything away, and you can see what it really is a box. Okay, and so I've just got some melamite sort of chipboard here with a white finish, and then these, I've got a wall here, and then a lower wall here which I've painted black. And that's just MDF board that you can buy from your local hardware store. And it just, just nail it in here. I put a bit of tape on that joint in the back because I mucked it up a little bit. I'm not much of a handyman myself, actually. So if I can do this, pretty much anyone can. And then I used a bit of black gesso just on these back walls here, because then that gives you a nice sort of contrast between the black and white. And I mentioned before about going to the $2 shop and finding basic foam items, right? I just always have my eye open for interesting little building blocks. And you can see, just by popping those in there, you can see the light on one side and you can see the shadow on the other side. And the reason why that's really important is I think doing little studies, and then I've got another sheet of MDF board that goes on the top, doing little studies of basic everyday items like that help improve you as an artist. They help to make you really look and see, so your observational skills improve. It helps you with your brushwork, helps you with perspective, values, which is obviously the black and white studies that we're doing in the course. And we're going to now move on to color, those photos I showed you before, introducing color into our still life setups and being able to observe, if this was a yellow block, for instance, then you would have a lighter yellow here and here, and we'd have a darker yellow there, and being able to really see the true color in a subject and translate that onto the canvas. And so that's what we're doing in the still life course. But this little light box, really easy to build something like this. Anyone can do it, but as I said, if you don't think you can, then I've got you covered with the the 200 photos that we're doing. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I'd love to see members of the Learn to Paint Academy go out and set up their own lightbox like this and start to set up different little subjects that they can then paint as part of their, one, just their study and their practice, but two, also then maybe moving on and doing some really nice still life paintings. It'd be great to see our members do that. So folks, that's a lightbox, and traditional oil painters and still life painters have been using lightboxes like that for generations, and it really does help you to set up little scenes, control the light, and it will improve your painting if you get into the regular practice of doing studies and finished paintings using a lightbox. So I hope that's helped. I hope you can see the benefits and advantages of building a lightbox. If you want to explore still life painting further, then come and join us in the Still Life Introduction course. And we'll go through everything. Like, I'll talk more detail about how to build it and what the materials are, how to set up the different still life scenes. I'll talk more about that in the course. We also go through value studies, and then color studies, and then finally a complete still life painting for you, so that you get the whole spectrum of knowledge that you need to get you started with still life painting. So if that's of interest to you, come and join us in the Still Life Introduction course. Otherwise, I'd love to hear from you how you've gone with building your own lightbox and how you're using it to improve your painting. Alrighty, hope that helps. My name's Rod Moore. Look forward to chatting to you soon. Cheers.